I'm Meg Gurnate from the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation, and you're watching the Downtown Living Show. Today, we'll feature the Gladstone, tucked away inside Uniquely Ours, Habitat for Humanity Restore, and the Edgerton Apartments. Stay with us. I'm here with Ruth Glisson, the owner of Uniquely Ours, and we are sitting here in the Gladstone at 135 South Center Street. Hello, Ruth.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Well, I am wonderful. I wanted to bring everybody here today because you own Uniquely Ours, and many people in the community are familiar with Uniquely Ours, but they may not necessarily be familiar with the Gladstone, which is tucked inside Uniquely Ours.
It is.
So first of all, tell me a little bit about your space, how long you've been here, and what your business is all about.
Okay. Well, we'll start with the history of the building, if I could.
Sure.
It is the oldest commercial brick building in Goldsboro, started by Mr. L.D. Giddens back in 1857. It was a beautiful jewelry store, as you can see from the front. I want to say Mrs. Giddens probably had some hand to this beautiful decor. It is the home of the first watch ever made in North Carolina. Mr. Giddens probably made it just about where we're sitting, Meg. So
okay.
Beautiful. It's on the National Historic Registry. Please, if you love old buildings, do pop in and see the beautiful ceiling. It has survived 2 complete burn downs on the left and the right, so we're very lucky that it's this gem of preservation is still here. Its next big life was a restaurant, and a beautiful restaurant, and that's when the upfit was done with the heating and cooling. And then it was a law firm, and now it's Uniquely Ours, and I hope that we are the next big life for this building.
It certainly seems that way.
Oh, thank you. Well, we are artisan driven, and we have artists from all over the country and outside of the country as well. We do try to buy a U.S. product whenever we can. It's important to us. David was ex-military, so it's very important that we defend the country from inside as well.
Sure.
And but we do sometimes intentionally go out of the country. Our crystal and our glass is from France, from a company called Kiss That Frog. We have beautiful stuffed animals that come from Australia. We've got some lovely animals that from a Danish company called Melee. Mm-hmm. They're beautiful little mice that sleep in matchboxes.
They are very sweet.
They are sweet. So it's kind of an old curiosity shop with a modern twist. It's a place to come in when you're looking for something unusual, something that really has a story behind it. And a lot of our pieces are heirloom pieces that we hope and we strive to buy a product that has a history before it and after it.
Certainly, so pieces that can be passed down.
Oh, absolutely. Our pewter comes from Europe, and it is heirloom pewter. You are the first person to own it, but it is something you'll find on the Antique Roadshow 100 years from now. Our linens, Taylor linens here in the States, but European linens. So it's like the old pillowcases and sheets you find, but you're the first person that's owned it this time.
So you can start your family traditions and pass down your heirlooms.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now this space, like I said, is tucked in the back of Uniquely Ours, so you don't really see it when you walk in, which is wonderful because you come in and it's private, and I say you can sink into your cozy leather chairs, and the lights are dim, and it's almost old hotel lounge-like in here.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me what inspired you to decorate it this way, and why you love this space.
Okay, well, I might tear up. My parents are in Washington State, and my mother has Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. And when I found this space, I knew that I wanted to have a lovely little place that I could share with my mom. And something that you wanted to share with somebody, whether it was your best friend or your husband or your mom or whomever. And there is a feeling in this store, and I think it's Mr. Giddens. Mm-hmm. It may sound strange, but there is a peace and a calm and a loveliness, a gentleness in this store. You feel it the minute you walk in. Mm-hmm. It's the building. It's just this lovely, lovely building. And the Gladstone reflects that. It was my intention to make it a 1930 lobby with the old hotel palms and this beautiful woodwork that was already here. But the trickling fountain in the background, we'll serve you on a silver tray in a French pedestal mug. And we select our coffees and teas come from all over the world. We do free trade as much as we possibly can. Good for the earth, good for the world, good for the economy and the farmer. So you choose your coffee or your tea from the front of the shop, bring it back here. We'll grind your coffee to your specific taste, whether you want a fine or a coarse blend. Then we'll serve it to you in one of our beautiful French presses, and which are also glass, that allows you to really appreciate the whole experience of the tea or the coffee. They all have their own hue, they all have their own mechanisms in them. If you have our Goldsboro blend, it's essentially an Earl Grey, so it has those lovely rose flowers, the lavender petals, the black tea. It's beautiful to watch it in your French press.
It is.
And you know, the rooibos, which is a Tijan, is this beautiful stained glass red color because it comes from South Africa, from the red bush plant. So it is naturally that tone. And if we lined up all our teas and coffees on the bar, in the presses, you would see each one of them have their own quality, their own light. It's like having beautiful stained glass across the bar. That's all indicative to the experience.
It is.
And so we serve you on the silver tray in these beautiful little mugs that are from France. We'll froth your milk for you.
And I got to witness that today, and I have to say, coming in here and just getting a cup of coffee is like an indulgent experience in itself. And it's so lovely that you're right here in downtown Goldsboro. You know, the service you provide, and you know, you come in here and you tell these stories of why you love the space and the little details, and you know, it's like coming home, coming in here. So you know, if anybody is feeling homesick or just needs, you know, to feel cozy and warm, is having a rough day, this is the place to come.
It is. Well, we hope that if you do come in with troubles or worries or whatever, that you leave them in the bottom of your mug when you walk out, and you use the adjective lovely. It is exactly what this building is. It is. It's just lovely.
It is.
It's just, but it is the building. It's just what there is that feeling here, and we just sort of, you know, layer on that with trying to pamper you as well. And
you have wonderful coffee and tea, and you know, free Wi-Fi and the ambiance. But I know people can come in and sample some sweet treats too if they're having a little sweet tooth. So
right.
Tell me about that.
Well, this month we featured Swedish wish cookies. So along with on your silver tray and your lovely French press, we had little wish cookies, and you put them in the palm of your hand, and you close your eyes and you make a wish, and you pop them with the tip of your finger, and if it breaks into 3 pieces, your wish comes true. But we had a young girl and her mom here, and I think she went through 4 cookies and it just would not break into 3 pieces. So I popped back in behind the counter and brought out a cookie, and I said, my wish is that everyone who makes a wish in the Gladstone, that their wish will come true. And so I popped my cookie and it went into 3. So I actually have everybody covered if your cookie doesn't break into 3.
There you go.
So, but in the very near future, we'll also be having baklava and European pastries, lovely little apple tarts and berry tarts and things like that. And it's the same premise. This is a place to share. You can certainly come alone. We have a fellow who comes alone, and he doesn't want to tell anybody about it. He says it's like his private club. He doesn't want to share. But if you do bring someone, you'll have a lovely little antique plate and 2 forks. Again, it's the premise of someplace I'd like to take my mom and share with. So you'll have a nice portion that you can come at with 2 forks if you'd like. If you'd want another one, we will give you another piece. But, you know.
Well, wonderful. Tell me again, how can people get a hold of you? Where are you located? Hours of operation?
We're located at 135 South Center Street, right next to the Paramount Theater and Maxway, right in the middle, in historic downtown Goldsboro. Our hours are from 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, Saturdays 10 to 4. If there is a ticketed event at the Paramount, we're actually opened as well. Wonderful. So you can enjoy a show and maybe pop over here later and have a cup of coffee or tea. And we're actually working on our wine license as well, so you might be able to have in the near future a nice little glass of house red or house white.
While you shop?
Yes, or after the theater.
Sure. And you have a Facebook page?
We do, and we have a website. Okay. So do look for us at Uniquely Ours. That's with a capital R apostrophe S.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for providing this beautiful space in the heart of downtown Goldsboro.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We've enjoyed it very much, and please stop in and visit.
I'm here with Bailey Harrell at 124 East Mulberry Street at the Habitat Restore, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Habitat Restore and how everyone can get involved. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
So give me a little bit of history about Habitat for those who have never heard of you.
Well, we've had the Restore downtown for quite a long time, and a really great mix of clientele know where we are, but we always want to continue to promote the space in and of itself. But basically we're a Restore, and we get items donated from residential and commercial businesses that we then in turn can resell in the store at a discounted price. And a lot of those proceeds are pumped back into the affiliate to build homes for families in need in Wayne County.
Wonderful. So tell me, what kind of items can people find in your store?
It's a broad mix. I will say we have an upper level and a downstairs level, and primarily upstairs we have building supplies. We do have a lot of cabinets and appliances, which is great, but we also have things like doors, doorknobs, light fixtures, a lot of things that you can refurbish your home with.
Okay.
Downstairs is more of in-home, what we call home goods, because you have a wide selection from reading material to furniture, but also decorative items and even kitchen supplies, small appliances and plateware and things like that.
Wonderful. I know you can find so many unique things in here that you could just, treasures to things you can rehab to create your own home
Exactly.
decor.
We've gotten kind of Pinterest crazy over the last few months. We like to take things and make them into something new.
Yes.
One thing we also do have is a fairly big clothing section, which actually a lot of restores don't do that. So that's one of the treasures that our store has that's available to the public, which we enjoy.
Okay. Now, I know you're big into volunteers here.
Absolutely.
And everybody in Wayne County is always looking for volunteer opportunities. So how can people get involved?
Well, we do rely, not in its entirety, but a lot on volunteers in general to keep our business alive and help reach out to the public. But one way you can is to go online to habitatgoldsboro.org, and there is a volunteer tab on the page, and it'll walk you through so you can select whether you'd like to work in the Restore, or volunteer time in the Restore, or the construction site. Another way is you can contact either the store or our office, and both of those numbers are also online, and just reach out and say that you'd like to begin volunteering, and someone can always get you started in the process.
Okay.
If in case you don't have access to internet, we can get the ball rolling and get you volunteering.
Okay. And now I know you do volunteer projects on site where you build homes and sheds and those types of things. And I know sometimes the women can feel a little intimidated.
Absolutely.
But you have a great women's build. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually we invite various women throughout the community, whether it's church groups or even there's a high school group that involves themselves into a distinguished young ladies pageant, and we've had them come out to the Restore, but we invite various walks of life of women to come out for a full day of building on the construction site so we can really show what women can bring to the table as well as men. And so it gives us a chance to kind of come together as women, but also work really hard in the process. So it's a really great experience for everyone.
Okay, and that's coming up in May?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So tell me, what is one important item of information that you would love to convey to people of this community about Habitat?
One of the most important misconceptions I think that people hear about Habitat or may not understand is they think that we give homes away free. And one thing that we try to instill into people, our motto is that Habitat is about a hand up, not a handout. And so although homeowners are getting homes at a cost friendly price, it's at cost, we do want them to know that they're invested in the program and that they do and pay for their home. So that's something that I think is important to the community when they think about donating time, energy, and money into our affiliate.
So you really are about making sure people empower themselves and better themselves.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
It's kind of a give and get back. So I want people to feel like what they've put into the program, they're seeing other people get back and themselves, that feeling of service and appreciation. So it's important to us.
Great. Well, I saw just a couple weeks ago that you had a coupon in the paper. So it's a great place for people to check out deals from the Habitat Restore.
Definitely.
And you have a Facebook page?
Absolutely, and we post different sales throughout the month. If having a big book bonanza, we'll let people know. We also usually have a sales calendar, so they can see the big sales throughout the month. But we always have little discounts here and there, kind of treats for the public, especially the returning customers who want to get a steal every now and then on top of the already well-priced merchandise we have.
Great. And now, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can contact us here at the store. We do have a contact number in store. It's 919-736-9550, and that's here at the Restore. If they have any questions about merchandise or even how to get involved on a volunteer aspect. But they can also go online if they want to see what kind of things we donate or can be donated or what kind of things we accept online as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for showing us your space. And
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to have you guys.
I hope everyone will come down and check it out. There really are great things in this store, and you can't beat what your money is going to when you shop here.
Definitely. Make sure we like to have people come back as often as possible because the product is constantly changing. So there's always something new in our store.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Bill Edgerton at the Edgerton Apartments located at 205 East Walnut Street. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Meg.
How are you?
I'm absolutely marvelous. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So we are standing in a beautiful kitchen in one of your beautiful new apartments downtown Goldsboro. I want you to tell me a little bit about your space today and show us around. But first, I want you to tell me how you acquired a building with your name already on it.
Well, we moved to Goldsboro in 1994. And I don't remember when I first saw the name on the building, but from the very moment I saw it, I liked the name.
I bet you did.
So, the Optimist Club, though, which I've been a member of for many, many years, started a Computers for Kids program where we take donated computers and refurbish them and provide them to low-income families with children in Wayne County Public Schools. We really needed space for that. And we looked around town, the computer guy and I looked around town to see if we could find space that would be suitable, and we couldn't find anything free, which is what we were looking for.
Sure.
And then I got to thinking about this building, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of the space downstairs at 205 would be perfect, be the right size for our meeting room as well as a computer workshop. So my wife and I, well, I encouraged her a little bit, but anyway, we agreed to buy the building at that time and use that side for the Optimist Club.
Okay.
There's a tenant in the other side that's been there in 207, which is part of the same building. And they've been in there for 13 years or so now. And we decided, well, if we're going to buy the building, the upstairs is vacant, we need to do something with it. So we've put 4 apartments up here.
And they are gorgeous.
Well, we wanted them to be above the norm. We wanted them to be different. We've got granite countertops throughout in the kitchens and the bathrooms. We've got stainless steel appliances throughout. We've got tile backsplashes in all the kitchens.
Okay.
Each apartment has a large, pretty good sized pantry really in the kitchen. And also each apartment has a small storage area that goes off of the hallway.
And they're large storage areas. I mean, you could put a ton of stuff in those.
Yeah. There'd be enough for your seasonal stuff, your Christmas stuff that you wanted someplace to put it out of the way, and that kind of stuff. There'd be plenty large for that.
Okay. And tell me, how much do you rent your apartments for? I know you have 2 different styles amongst your 4 apartments, so tell me about the different style and how much the rent is.
All of the apartments are 2-bedroom. The A and B are 2 baths also, and then C and D are 1 bath. The 2-bath apartments rent $4,000 a month. The 1 bath for $950.
Okay. And then your back space is, you have like a nice little porch off the back. Tell me about that.
Well, we've got a little seating room between the hall, and the hallway is like 10 feet wide by 60 feet about. Then there's a little sitting area, reading room. And then you go through that to get to the deck. There's a 12 by 20 foot deck on the back, and we will provide a grill with the gas bottle.
Okay.
And we also provide a washer and dryer.
That's huge.
So in the apartment, so people don't have to move that in and out.
Sure. And I know for the military folks who may be interested in this, you have a military clause in your rent agreement, correct?
Yes. The military half of the deposit that normally. Normally I require a month's deposit as well as the rent. And the military, we're giving a 50% discount on the deposit.
Okay, wonderful. And you are close to so many wonderful amenities. I know you're just literally a door down from the Arts Council and restaurants and the courthouse, and you really are in a beautiful area.
This, of course, I'm biased, understand that, but this is probably the best location of any apartments in town.
I would happen to
I
agree.
mean, where it's located, so it's just everything in the building, the historical characteristics of the building we maintain, which makes it kind of special to me. As you're going through and looking, the trim work, you can't tell where the old trim stops and the new trim starts, because we salvaged all the old trim that we could, but what we couldn't, we duplicated.
Okay.
So as you walk through and look, it's all the same.
It is, and you've done a wonderful job. The windows are the huge windows, and you've got window treatments on all of them. So whoever comes in here doesn't have to worry about purchasing window treatments. They're already there.
There's 33 windows up here, so there's a lot of them. We hung blinds for a while. So, but some of the other characteristics of the history about it, there was the third floor on the building when it was built in 1900. And in 1930, the third floor burned.
Okay.
And it damaged it to the point that they just took the third floor, they finished taking it off and put the roof over the second floor. Well, some of the places where we removed part of the walls, part of that flooring that we used to fill in those places came from the flooring that was on the third floor, which is now up in the attic.
Very
And
cool.
the end of the boards, were burned off, but part of it was reusable. So
That's wonderful, and it's so cool to walk around these spaces, because you still have some of what used to be a law office up here. Some of the words are still on the doors in some of the apartments, like private or investigations.
Right, yeah.
And that's just a really cool touch to these historic spaces.
when we had the open house a couple of weeks ago, Doris Mooring, that works with Bobby Rakes Carnegie, came up for the open house. She was in the office in the next apartment where the kitchen is in apartment A.
Okay.
That used to be her office
That is
back
so
in the
cool.
60s. So.
Well, it's great to see what you've done with the space, and I really encourage everybody who's interested in apartment living or living downtown in general to come check them out. They are beautiful, all hardwood floors, and you could not have a better owner of this building.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And all the floors throughout are hardwood, 113-year-old hardwood, and they are absolutely gorgeous.
They are. Now, how can people get a hold of you if they want to see the space?
They can call me at 919-920-8541.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
And I'd be glad to show them anytime.
All right.
If someone's just interested in looking and not even interested in moving downtown, I'd still be glad to show them the apartments.
That's right. Just to see the beautiful space.
Right.
Well, thanks so much, and I hope that they will all be filled, but I do not doubt that within the next month or two, you will not have a space available for people, so call soon.
I hope not. Okay.
Thank you for watching the Downtown Living Show. For more information about Downtown Goldsboro, visit dgdc.org or find us on Facebook under Downtown Goldsboro.